What's poppin', fleshy mammals? And Washy Boy here. And yes, I changed my name again because there's a lot of Scoonies, and I hate that because my nickname is Scoonie, but this is my opinion on all the recent Overwatch stuff, like all the changes and reworks that they're doing, and my thought on the 222 and the new Hero Sigma and my theories on it. But can I just say about the Nintendo Switch, like the drifting of the controllers, and how it's just become popularized right now. It's just like, it's always been a thing. Like, I've had a Switch for so long, basically when it came out, and it started happening like the first 2 months. And it basically was happening to me before it became cool. But anyways, let's jump right into this. Alright, just a little background on myself in Overwatch. I kind of dipped out of the game for like 6 months, and the reason why is because, like, I'm gonna say it later in the video, but it's because I didn't really have many of my friends who owned Overwatch. We mainly all played Siege, and I'm not good at Siege at all, but in Overwatch I am a Diamond player, so I mean, I don't want to say that, like, oh yeah, I'm so good, you should listen to me, but these are my opinions, and it's kind of like my personal feelings on the game that's going to become like the 222. I have a weird feeling about that, but I was a Moira main and a Junkrat main, and like I mainly did DPS and tanking, but when I got back to the game, I started maining supports a lot more, and now literally out of my, I think, 7 hours this season of playing, my top 5 heroes are all supports, and then like the top 5 most played heroes are all supports, and then my like below that, below the top 5 supports, 3 of them are tanks below that, and then finally you meet DPS. Like, I don't play DPS that much at all anymore, which I kind of feel sad, but that's a little background on my Overwatch experience. Alright, to start things off, I kind of want to do with the Sigma stuff and my theories on him, if you're just literally here for that. But in the trailer, the trailer was much scarier than I ever thought Overwatch would ever do. I mean, yeah, they're known for dark stuff like Widowmaker, but that trailer, I don't think I've ever gotten more goosebumps from Overwatch, period, from that trailer. That was an awesome trailer. And I mean, Overwatch, I dipped out of Overwatch for like 6 months, just because of the fact that, I don't know, I wasn't getting bored of it, but I was just like, you know, I have the Nintendo Switch and the PC and just all these other games, and most of my friends at the time didn't have it, but a lot more of my friends are having it, or getting it, so I'll probably be getting back into it. But anyways, my thoughts on Sigma, as you've seen in the trailer, he basically started off as a professor, and then he's like, oh, okay, gravity is a harness to, like, basically reality, I guess, and, you know, that harness is holding you back from kind of experiencing this world. But you see him as soon as he, like, starts messing with the black hole, something goes extremely wrong, and he basically, it kind of looks like he's split into 2 different beings. But my theories are that he's actually, like, basically he's going, like, he's feeling like 3 different bodies, because he's going through this interdimensional and this, like, multiverse theory where in, like, one universe he's like that prisoner that he was tied up, and but he says, I feel trapped, but in a sense he was free. And, you know, in the one part he was like, I feel like I'm floating in space, and basically throughout the trailer it's just showing almost like 3 different versions of him. Now, it might be 2, but I mean, it kind of look like 3, but my theories on it might be the fact that maybe he's able to switch, either go to a different universe and able to kind of like do something like Moira, where he's basically like traveling through a different universe just to get to somewhere, so he's like not even in the game basically until then he reappears. And maybe he's able to switch between maybe like 2 or 3 different types of him, so he has kind of a different moveset for each one, which, like, maybe there's one that's attacking that does damage, one that's defending, and the one that's healing. I mean, I doubt if that would be the case, because that sounds stupid overpowered. But at the same time, Blizzard said it was going to take a little bit longer because of the fact that they wanted to make him balanced. But maybe he's also able to sound out clones of himself, where, you know, like different clones that he's able to transfer to the two to kind of bait people out, which would be pretty cool. But as far as his ult, that's just, I don't know, that's gonna be something different. Like, maybe time slowing effect, because as you saw in one of the most recent patch notes, it says that it has to do with slowing. So like, if Reinhardt currently opens up his shield, like how he moves slow and Mei comes behind, he stops. But now it basically, slowing doesn't stack until the other slowing starts to get higher. So like, Reinhardt will be able to still move, but as soon as Mei's slowing starts to slow him even more, then he will slow down. But, I mean, my thoughts on Sigma is that he's definitely going to be a weird tank. I really don't know how he is going to be a tank at all, like how he's going to, like maybe he'll set up like a black hole that will like absorb projectiles, something kind of like Diva, but it's like in this one specific area that kind of just absorbs projectiles and maybe even pulls in people. But that sounds like a, I don't know, that kind of sounds like a Zarya thing. Maybe it will just be a black hole that people are able to walk through, but it won't affect them, but bullets will get sucked in and projectiles, so it'd be a very good like ultimate counter, depending on how long it lasts. As far as his weapon, I have no idea. There was a hexagon shown, and I doubt if they'll do something like Zenyatta. I remember a lot of people talking about how he's probably going to have a railgun, but I don't know. He's definitely going to be a weird one. Maybe like when he throws out projectiles and it hits somebody, it slows them or something. And like maybe it might be Zenyatta's type of thing, but I don't know at all. Like, and then his ultimate, I don't know. Like, this is my theory, is that he is kind of in a multiverse type of thing where he's able to clone himself and maybe switch between the two clones, and the two clones having different abilities, which would be actually really cool. So like, I don't know, that would be majorly cool if it was something like that. But now let's move on to the updates. Let's start off with Symmetra, because she probably has the most interesting change ever, and that's the fact that her teleporter is up forever until it gets destroyed by damage. So I think currently in game, if you have her teleporter up, it only lasts 10 seconds and gets destroyed, but now you can open it up and it stays open, which means that defending is going to be so much like better, because you're able to open up a teleporter and that cuts down your walking time. For like someone like Winston, like yeah, they have the jumping ability, but why would they want to waste their jumping ability when they could just go through a teleporter? Or same thing with Reinhardt, like now you're able to charge as Reinhardt, and as you're going past it, just teleport through it, and you're able to pop out the other end and still charge, which is amazing. That would be an amazing setup. But Symmetra is definitely going to be getting a lot more picks, and I personally feel like that with the teleporter, it sounds a bit overpowered at first, but it's definitely a really good change for her. Now let's move on to Brigitte. Brigitte is getting completely reworked, and I personally feel like it's for the best, but I don't know, like the fact that they nerfed her shield so much down to only 200 health, like that only means now that it's basically only for shield bashing, and maybe like getting out of areas, like backing up with your shield and getting out, and like now she's more of a healer, of course, but she used to be unkillable before, but now she's definitely killable. But I feel like she's only a bit underpowered. Like, she feels underpowered, and I don't know, like, I know Brigitte was a huge annoyance, but she just kind of feels underpowered now because of the fact that, like, she gets 3 charges with her healing, but her healing heals less and it's over time, which, I mean, yeah, currently she's able to throw out the shield pack and it heals them, but I like the fact that they changed it where, since they nerfed that, she has to be way more offensive, but since she's more killable, why would you want to be offensive? Like, that kind of counteracts the bit, and well, you get more you do more healing to your allies when you have the I forget what it's called, but when you hit an enemy and you pulled up that AoE, you heal your allies more, but you only heal yourself for like half less. And her ultimate charges slowly, and I don't know, and her whip is able to go farther now, but and it retracts faster, but I just genuinely feel like she's being kind of overpowered and nerfed a bit too much, in my opinion, but that's my thoughts on Brigitte. This is a quick one, but Reinhardt's new, oh, I forget what it's called, but the fact that he takes, I guess, what would that be called, like, where you get blasted back. It's only 30% more, but it might be, it's very good, but it's not to the extent where it's like, oh man, it's so good. It's just like, it's a good change for him, and I like it, and he's definitely gonna get better, I guess, but not too much better. Now, as you heard earlier, I'm a Moira main, and the buff she's getting is just stupid overpowered. Like, why would you do that? Like, no, she did not need a buff. She was perfect where she was. And like, yeah, I'm a Moira main. You know, I'm totally going to be abusing it, but like the fact that she can fade away from stunning, why would they do that? Like, what was the point of that? Like, I don't think anybody complained the fact that it's like, you know, Moira's pretty underpowered, you know. You know what would be a good change? If she literally could counter anybody's abilities in ultimates and just yeet themselves out of there. Like, next they're gonna have it where she's able to use it like whenever she wants or she goes farther. But Moira was in a good position before. I literally had no problems with her. I mean, yeah, granted, I normally got gold elims all the time and like gold healing, but the fact she's going to be able to do this in Fade is just stupid. Like, just Reinhardt Earthshatter? Nope. McCree Stun? Nope. Roadhog's Hook? Nope. I'm not sure about Zarya. I think they changed it where all ability isn't affected as well, or like, it basically cancels people's abilities. So hopefully she's not able to nope herself out of Zarya's ultimate. But I just personally feel like she was in a perfect position before. I mean, yeah, everybody complained, oh man, Moira's the damage healer, but she was genuinely easy to take care of, like a Roadhog Hook, boom, bam. But now, Roadhog Hook, nothing. She's able to just yeet herself out there, and I personally feel like it is the most stupidest thing. Like, why would you do that, Overwatch? I loved where she was at before. I loved playing her, and I felt like I had a good challenge. But now it's just going to be the fact that, like, oh yeah, I can get away from anything now. I just personally never felt like anybody complained about that. But now people are going to be complaining the fact that she's overpowered now, and they're going to be retracting that crap really quickly. And here is probably my biggest discussion, and kind of where I have mixed feelings, which is with the 222. It's definitely a huge change at Overwatch. I mean, it's definitely very huge because of the fact that, you know, of course, like, I really love the fact that there's going to be 3 separate ranking depending on like your DPS, tank, and healer. So it really does shine what you're best at. Like, as Jeff said, I think he said he was like a tank main, but he figured out that he's better at support, which personally I feel like everybody who's going to be playing support is going to get higher than they realize, because let's admit it, support mains, it's pretty easy to support. All you have to do is heal. And yeah, you kind of rely on the team a lot. And yes, I agree, that's it. Playing at maining a support, you do really rely on your team a lot, because supports aren't meant to do damage other than Moira, I would say. But I mean, the fact that it's going to help support mains a lot, but it's just, I don't know, I feel like I just genuinely don't know how I feel about it, because it's like, on the one hand, it's changing a lot, and I just love the fact that I was able to switch a role mid-game. And I was able to, like, say, hey, okay, like I was able to switch roles mid-game because of the fact that, like, okay, so let me put up example. Hanamura, on attack, I was really good, like, I'm really good with, like, Moira, and, like, Lucio, and I guess, like, I'm really good for attacking support. But then on defense, I'm really good with Orisa. and like Reinhardt because I'm able to protect the team. So now I'm not able to do that, and I guess, but then the other thing is that now I actually have a team that I can rely on their tanks. Like, I can rely on my tanks to be good tanks, and I can just continue healing. So I guess I'm just going to have to start meaning like Ana now and try to get really good with Ana. I'm really good with Baptiste, but I don't know, it's just, this is a huge change, and I mean, I personally sometimes get scared with change, but I don't know, this is going to be definitely be interesting. But my thoughts on how it would be cool is, like, yeah, of course, the main reason why they're doing 2-2-2 is the fact that there's GOAT comps, where it's like, you know, 3 supports and 3 tanks. There's bunker comps where you could have Torbjorn, Bastion, Orisa, and like, I don't know, like Soldier, like, you know, there'd be 3 DPS, 1 healer, and 2 tanks. Like, you know, those games are really boring, and it's just like, why? But I don't know. My personal feeling is that they should make it where it's like, oh, if there's already 2 DPS, then it should restrict anybody else choosing that role. So then, like, there would still be the 2-2-2, but with the exception of switching mid-game. So, like, I'll be like, hey, can someone else hop on support and I'll play the rest of this round? And I could say that, and if I have a well-coordinated team, we could do that. But the other reason why that's bad is because, I mean, I guess people can throw, but you're genuinely going to find people like that all the time, no matter what rank you're in. And then that would totally negate the fact that the separate ranking for, like, you know, the tank, DPS, any support. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, and I really hope it's for the good.